with the Lakers visiting Minnesota, and that's going to be a good one. History on the Lakers side because LA's won 10 straight games with the series tied at 1. It's actually the longest streak in NBA history. Luka Doncic has averaged over 30 points, 10 boards, 5 dimes in the first 2 games. Minnesota coming off its worst offensive performance of the season in Game 2. The Wolves scored a season-low 85 points, and while Julius Randle and Ant-Man both went for 25-plus points, they didn't really get much help outside of that. But I've got all the help I need. Our NBA reporter Dave McMenamin is on the scene in Minnie and joins us now. And Mac-10, what are the Lakers saying right now about turning around their offensive struggles in this series?
Yeah, Al, obviously they've defended well enough to be tied in this series, but J.J. Redick said looking at the film from Game 2, he saw a lot to clean up offensively. Particularly, he wants to see the team play with more pace and more thrust. They only scored 6 points in transition in Game 1. They had 13 in Game 2, but still, that's not a ton of easy scoring. And so, LeBron James, though, said, yeah, we want to get better game by game, but sometimes you just got to throw out the numbers, throw out the stat sheet, and it's about trying to assert your will on the game because it's the first team to 4 wins. There's no moral victories, just getting those 4 actual victories. So, there's a mixed bag tonight. They want to come out with the same edge, but JJ'd like to see just a little bit more offensive efficiency from his group.
The LeBron and the Lakers right now 3.5-point underdogs in this Game 3. Dave McMenamin with the latest ahead of that game to tonight's Game 3 in Orlando. Jaylen Brown now questionable with a knee impingement. Jason Tatum was upgraded to questionable, has that wrist injury that had him miss the last game. And Drew Holiday also questionable with a hammy. Oh my goodness, Chicken Little. Our NBA analyst Chiney Ogwumike joins us now. Sis, your level of concern for these Celtics title hopes if these injuries keep piling up?
I am not concerned yet because it seems like these players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, are just itching to get back on the floor. But, of course, they have the luxury of wealth of players. They have a wealth of riches. If you're thinking about teams that can survive their leading scorer at 26 points per game, not playing in a game, and still win in convincing fashion, it's the Boston Celtics. They are their own biggest competition because they can do it in different ways. They have multitude of players that can step up. In Game 1, they had 26 fast break points, so everyone was running and gunning. In Game 2, they got to the free throw line 33 times, so they were aggressive. It does not matter who shows up. Those players, there's got 4 or 5 all-star caliber players. If they're able to still have their guys out there, the majority of them, they're still contenders. They need health, but they bought themselves some time.
Yeah, they also have the 6th man of the year, but to that effect, maybe bubble wrap Peyton Pritchard. I'm just saying, just preserve him and keep him okay. Celtics, by the way, 5.5-point favorites despite those injuries for Game 3 against the Magic tonight. Out west, Chiney, it's Game 3, Lakers-Wolves with that series tied up at 1. What's the key for LA to win tonight?
What I love about this matchup is that it's like Oprah. You get a superstar, you get a superstar, you got a superstar. You got LeBron James, you got Anthony Edwards, you got people that are playing great basketball. But the player that has been the most consistent through 2 games is Luka Doncic. I was in the building for the last matchup, and boy, oh boy, he had that killer instinct. I mean, dropping 30 pieces in both games. He messed around and almost had a triple-double. I think it was 9 assists. He had 9 minutes left. We were shocked that he didn't get it. But if you think about it, this matchup, it's been chess, not checkers. You saw him go and attack Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert actually held his own, but still the Lakers walked out with a win. So far, Luka has determined and dictated this series, but the best thing is that he makes his teammates in Game 2 better. Reeves having better, adjustments. LeBron James obviously buying time, reducing the load. Luka has been everything that you expect from his playoff version for Los Angeles.
Yeah, the Timberwolves hate to see him coming. Luka averages nearly 33 points in 7 career playoff games against them. We did have...
You win the game. Obviously you want to get better. You want to look at the things you could have got better at. When you watch the film the day after, or how many days you have to between. But there's no moral victories in both seasons. Right? It's about winning the game. And let's see what team you get the 4. Faster than the other team. That's the only thing.
Now joining us from Minnesota, our reporter covering the Lakers, Dave McMenamin. Dave, we just heard what LeBron is prioritizing here. What's J.J. Redick's message?
Yeah, Malik, I spoke to J.J. yesterday, and he said after looking at the game tape from the first 2 games of the series, there's a lot for the Lakers to clean up offensively. And he said in order to do so, he wants to see them play with some more pace and some more thrust. You think about the offensive numbers that they've had in the fast break. They were dominated in Game 1, only scored 6 they won the battle in fast-breaking game 2, but even still, in winning it, they only scored 13. So he thinks that they can boost their numbers by, running more. But I asked LeBron that question before he gave that answer this morning at shoot-around, and, I hearkened back to the 2015 finals when he was just trying to drag the Cavs across the finish line against the Warriors. And back then he said, I'm throwing efficiency out the window. Sometimes the numbers don't matter so long as you are bringing the fight to the battle.
Okay, so that's the Lakers side of this. On the other side, you spoke to Rudy Gobert at Wolves shoot-around. What can you tell us about how he sees his impact in this series?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a battle between Rudy and the Lakers stars, and he got the better of them. Even though the Wolves lost game 2, Rudy Gobert, as the isolated defender against LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, held those guys for 3 for 12 shooting. And he said he lives for those moments. He wants to play against the best players in the world. So while the Lakers seemingly are hunting out that ISO matchup, Rudy says bring it on, because he wants to continue to prove why he's a multi-time Defensive Player of the Year. And what better way to do it than trying to stop guys like LeBron and Luka?
Certainly the crowd in Crypto.com arena would go nuts every single time Rudy got switched on to Luka Doncic. But when you look at the numbers, as you just pointed out, Rudy did hold his own, particularly against Luka there, even if the crowd was sort of feeding off of those moments. Dave McMenamin, thank you so very much. Enjoy tonight's game. Hey, we got a treat right here on NBA Today. You won't believe who is stopping by. Oh, yes, it's the man. It's the myth. It's the legend. And he's on the sidelines covering tonight's game, doing our color commentary, our analyst work here. Richard Jefferson, we always appreciate you making it to the time. I want to get to both sides of this game, but we're going to start with the Los Angeles Lakers. What is the key as the series shifts to Minnesota?
Ooh, there's so many keys. I would look at one, the others. I would look at who's going to play well. You saw Naz Reid play well. You saw Jaden McDaniels play well in game 1. Those guys are going to have to continue to hit shots, especially McDaniels. But on the other side, the Lakers lost the rebounding battle by 7 in game 1, and they won it in game 2. The Lakers are 18-3 when they're +5 on the rebounding margin. Now, that might seem like a random stat, but if they're cleaning up the glass, and the Lakers are small. Remember, they tried to go get the big at the deadline. They weren't able to. They lost Anthony Davis. So the Lakers are traditionally a small team, even though they have big wings. So when they clean up the glass and they have a +5 margin on the glass, they're 18-3. And I say all that to say is that those extra shots, the ability to get out in transition, but as you're also going to need extra guys, like Austin Reeves is going to have to do something. You're going to need a couple more guys to show up. In the Minnesota win, they had 7 guys with 9 or more. 7 guys with 9 or more. And that just shows the balance. And on the Lakers side in game 2, they had a much better balance in the scoring opportunity. So I think it's the others, but I also think that